we've had some kind of big Sims news today. There was a small patch and also 2 new kits were announced, both of which are coming out in just a couple of days. And somehow, miraculously, they have managed to only leak one of those kits before today, which actually, given their track record, is kind of impressive. So congratulations, Sims team, you managed to not leak one whole kit. So of course, we're gonna talk about all of these things, but I think we're gonna start with those kits, mostly because when I'm recording this, the patch came out like literally 30 seconds ago. I just opened my game for the first time and the patch notes aren't out yet. So while we're waiting, we can discuss the announcement. I will say first that I don't think this patch is gonna be huge. There's been some theorizing on Twitter this week that this patch was gonna be the infant update, and I was really wary of that. I figured they probably wouldn't drop them without like any sort of announcement or teaser. I know toddlers were like a complete surprise drop. They gave us no warning about those at all. Like, we genuinely didn't even know they were being worked on until the patch just came out randomly one day. But because they've already teased infants, I figure they'll probably give us some more info. And the Sims team has scheduled a live stream for January 31st, so I wouldn't be surprised if that live stream had more to do with infants and the baby update and stuff. And I expect that this patch today is just like a tiny pre-kit release patch, just like a pack prep sort of thing, and maybe a couple of bug fixes. So we're not getting infants today, and I really did not expect to, but we did get those kit announcements. The Sims tweeted, "Get the latest in lounging with styles that put the woo in woohoo or transform your bathrooms into a perfectly organized mess with the Sims 4 Simtimates kit and the Sims 4 bathroom clutter kit." And we've got this kind of cute gif with the 2 kits side by side showing some little teasers of what to expect in them. And then we got 2 more tweets with like a little bit more detail for each of them. This one said, "Flatter every body with the Sims 4 Simtimates collection kit. This collection will help any Sim look bold, flirty, and charming in the bedroom with lacy bodysuits, a variety of underwear styles, and playful boxer prints." And they shared this screenshot so we can see like 4 of the clothing options it's gonna come with. We have this lacy bodysuit, those boxers, we've got some kind of cute underwear. This one sort of feels like mermaidy to me, which is kind of fun. And then we also have this like full set. I'm curious if this is gonna be like separate top and bottoms or if it's gonna be like combined. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more from this. And then they also posted, "Make the bathroom the most decorated room in the house. From grandma's dentures to wall decor made for all ages, it's the best space for a personal escape with the Sims 4 bathroom clutter kit." And they're both available on January 19th, which is only 2 days away. And this is that screenshot they shared. This whole announcement has like really made me laugh today because it feels like these kits have been quite the ride for the past week or so. The first mention we got of them was in that quarterly teaser about a week ago, and they teased both the kits, but like kind of in a scary way, because it just showed like these little characters that looked like underwear and then toothpaste, which sort of had me getting a little bit nervous about the large amount of teeth references they were making. Because we had like this toothpaste and toothbrush, there was like a picture of dentures in the Sim Summit stream. They showed this guy that looks kind of like a tooth bear, maybe like a tooth berry in relation to the expansion pack. So I was kind of like, okay, why are we making so many tooth references? Do I need to be concerned about like teeth plans? But it looks like it's not as bad as it seems. I actually made a video on that teaser and I was like, okay, so maybe it's like an underwear pack and like a bathroom kit, maybe like a bathroom fixtures kit that has like a shower and a toilet. Maybe it's bathroom clutter. I kind of thought that because they had shown us this image in that Summit stream, and I realized that we got both of these items in kits that have already released, so I kind of figured that these 3 things would be in kits as well. And then judging off of the toothpaste and the underwear, I was like, okay, dentures and underwear. So I kind of figured these would be in kits. And now today, of course, we've seen those kit teasers and we know for a fact they're coming. So I want to start with the Simtimates kit because that's the one that leaked. Of course it did, because somehow we cannot get a kit without it leaking first, but this leak was like really bad. I'm gonna link this article from Sims Community down below if you want to read the full thing, but basically in the EA app, it had like a list of all the kits that you could buy. And I don't know if you can see this right here, but it says the Sims 4 modern menswear kit, but the picture behind it is not the modern menswear kit. So it looked like this. It said modern menswear, but the photograph was very obviously underwear. And you can see part of it kind of says Simtimates. So we were all like, okay, well that's obviously the new kit. You can also tell that this Sim is wearing the same outfit from that teaser we had seen. And when I first saw this leak, I was kind of like, okay, well, I don't really care about this that much. I guess I just don't really care about cast kits in general. Like, I'm not usually very excited about new Create-A-Sim items. I'm definitely not the target audience for those. I care a lot more about build mode stuff. I haven't really dug into the screenshots that much to like look around at what's coming. We saw this one on Twitter, so we know what these things look like, but we also got this official screenshot release, so we can see a couple more things. This one's kind of cute because it's like matching heart underwear, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little worried about how often I would end up using these things, because on one hand, it is nice since we don't really have a lot of things like this, but also, I just don't really have my Sims wear stuff like this that much. If this pack was more like loungewear or maybe things that could double as swimwear, I think I might be a little more excited about it. I feel like this could definitely work as a swimsuit if you wanted it to, but otherwise, just judging off of these screenshots, I don't think I'm like super excited about this pack. Obviously, keeping in mind that I don't really care about cast stuff in general, but like this is the kind of thing that I probably wouldn't end up buying if I weren't a YouTuber. I'm curious to see more of it because right now we've seen what, like 6 outfits, and there's definitely gonna be more than just those 6 castings. There's probably gonna be like 20 assets or so, because there usually is. And the stuff is cute. I guess I'm just not like 100% sold on spending $5 on a pack of just like underwear. This is the official render, and there's a couple more outfits in here, but this is just a drawing, so it's kind of hard to like make a judgment on it. And also, I can't even see the full outfit on this one, so I don't know. It's cute. I like the colors. The concept is kind of fun and unique, but it just isn't really that exciting to me. The other kit is that bathroom clutter kit, and this one I think is a lot more exciting. Obviously, I mostly like to build in The Sims, and I love clutter stuff like this, so it's like kind of right up my alley. We also don't really have a lot of bathroom clutter type of items, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're gonna add. And we just got that everyday clutter kit a couple months ago, and that one was really good, and everybody seemed to really like it. So the concept of like another clutter kit focused on the bathroom seems like a good idea. This is the first screenshot they tweeted, and I feel like there's so much more to look at in this than there was in the cast one. Like, we just had the 4 outfits, but in this, there's like so many little things to search for. So first of all, I'm seeing a couple new wall decals. We have one back here and this turtle one over here. Up here, we've got like a void critter towel bar, which is so cute. There's also like a plunger, which we don't currently have. There's a debug plunger that a lot of people place, but it's not like a real decorative plunger, so it's kind of fun to have that. This looks like a void critter toothbrush. We also have the dentures they showed off. It looks like there's like some toothpaste. There's a little comb. This is like a mostly empty toothpaste tube. There's like some, I don't know, maybe skincare products. Over here we have a hair dryer. I think I'm most excited for the toothpaste and the little comb. I really like the like tiny little pieces of clutter. I think it's really fun to be able to add those into houses, especially when it makes it feel like it's very lived in, like somebody is actually using this toothpaste. Oh, and behind my face cam, we have this wall sconce. I'm assuming that the sink and the counter and the mirror are all base game stuff. Same with the toilet and like the shower and everything. It looks like the new things are mostly decorative, but we also have this screenshot, and they haven't tweeted this one yet, but to me, this is like a way better screenshot. There is a lot to take in here on this one. So on the left side, you can see another swatch of one of those wall decals. We also have a different version of the towels. I don't know if you can see, but on the left side, there's like the neatly folded towels, and on the right, there's the same towels, but like kind of messed up. So it looks like we're gonna get 2 different towel bars in the same swatches, but with like a different variant on them. And I really like how realistic that looks. I just think that is such a nice feature. And these are kind of cutesy, like kids themed towels, but I'm assuming we'll get some more like plain, like regular bathroom towels or whatever. Over here, you can also see another swatch of that plunger. We've got that sconce again, but in like a unicorn swatch. On this left side, we can see a few clutter things. It looks like some sort of tube. This is like a little tray that maybe has like some cotton balls and like a comb in it. I'm not sure what this floral thing is, but maybe like a cup of some sort. There's a floral toilet paper roll, also like a stack of some towels and a sponge. I'm betting this toilet paper has a few like funky swatches, but also some plain swatches. There's also a cute little like plastic drawer tower right here. We've got one of those rugs that like fits in front of the toilet, and also like a regular bath mat. Back here, there's a cute like shower product wall hanging thing. It's got like a loofah and some like shampoo and stuff. Then on this side where my face usually is, we have a bunch of stuff. There's like a second version of those drawers, but it's like kind of open, and you can see some jewelry hanging out and like a hairbrush on top. We have some more like little products, like tubes of things. That's that toothbrush they showed us. We also have this little toothbrush and toothpaste in a cup. There's a new soap jar. This is like a bar of soap on a little soap holder. We've got the combs again. I think this is like an electric razor. Obviously, we have the decal on those towels and stuff. But most importantly, the thing that sticks out to me the most is this light switch. And I realize that sounds like very silly to say, but we don't have anything like that. There is no light switches in The Sims 4. And I have always wanted things like light switches or outlets, just as like that added little detail. And it looks like we're getting 2, because there was that one behind my face, but also this one back here. Sim Guru Ash works for The Sims, and they confirmed that one of those is coming to the base game. Ash also tweeted this photo, so we've got like a little bit more insight into what's coming in the pack. We can see this toilet paper holder. They're making a joke about it being under or over, but don't worry, we're getting both. And hopefully this one does not cost 50 simoleons like the one in the base game does. But we can see those switches again. We have this one here and this one here. This is the official cover art of the kit so we can see a couple more things, like the drawers, the light, the toilet paper, the plunger, this cute little fish swatch of the decals. But overall, I'm really excited about this bathroom kit, and I'm still feeling a little unsure about the Simtimates kit, but I'm hoping when we get some more info, I'll feel a bit better about it. It's just hard to judge when you only have like a few of the outfits being shown. I wish they had shown more in the screenshots or something. I don't know, it feels kind of like just fine to me, and it is definitely getting outshined by light switches right now, so I'm a lot more interested in those, unfortunately. Aside from the kit, now those kits are coming out those kits are coming out on Thursday. That's really soon. And obviously in that update, we usually get some bug fixes and stuff. This is the patch notes from today's update. I haven't seen these yet. New year, new fixes, hopefully some good ones. Okay, just off the first two, today is a big deal. Number one, Sims will no longer break the space-time continuum by moving when the game is paused. Oh my god, they finally fixed it. There's been this bug where when you pause the game, Sims would like still turn their head. It was so creepy. They finally fixed it. That is a relief. Also, apparently toddlers were having like broken genetics. That's fixed. Oh my god, and disabling wants and fears is also finally fixed. I don't know if you noticed, but it feels like wants and fears show up way too often. My Sims are like permanently afraid of like a dead-end job and stuff, and I keep cheating them away, and you couldn't turn it off. Like if you went into game and tried to turn off wants and fears in the options menu, you could turn it off, but it wouldn't work. They would just keep getting fears. They finally fixed it so you can actually disable them now. It seems like they haven't tuned it yet, but you can actually turn off wants and fears if you want to. So that is a relief. Whenever I read these, there's always so many like random bugs that I didn't know about. Like this one, Sims won't freeze to death in the summer when interacting with sprinklers. That was happening? Okay, well, it's fixed now, so that's good. This one was super annoying too. My Sims would be like already married, but they'd keep talking about planning a wedding. My Sims were like elders. They'd been married for years and they were still talking about like their wedding plans. Like the option to ask someone to be my flower pal was still there, even though I was not engaged. I was not planning a wedding. I wasn't even planning a vow renewal. It wasn't happening, but the options were there. So they fixed that too. There's a few other bug fixes, like smaller ones here, so I'll link this patch notes down below if you want to go and read it. It's obviously not a huge patch. I really wasn't expecting one today, mostly because I'm guessing that at the end of the month, or maybe in February, will be the infant update. In this teaser they posted, they also teased a live stream on January 31st, and usually they do those live streams to like announce things or at least show off things. So I wouldn't be surprised if they either released infants that day and then did a stream about it, or if they teased infants at the end of that live stream. To give you some context of their more recent like ways they've done this, for example, when terrain tools came out, when they first teased that, they didn't even mention it. They like did their whole live stream, and at the very end of the stream, they were just talking, while one of them was like going into build mode and showing off the terrain manipulation, but they never actually said it out loud. They were just taunting us by like showing it and then not addressing it and then just ending the stream. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did some sort of like trolley tease of infants, or if they made like a whole stream showing them off completely. But I would expect that maybe around the end of the month. I know there's been some anger on Twitter because for some reason people assumed the infants were coming out today. I think it's because somebody tweeted last week predicting an update would be today, and then everyone was like, update, baby update, and then just assumed that it was coming, and then of course got their hopes up, and then when it didn't come out today, people were upset. I guess also because when they dropped toddlers, they never announced it. The update just came out with no warning, so people kind of have that in their head. They're like maybe expecting that'll happen, but they don't really do that stuff anymore, and they've also like shown us infants already, so I'm really guessing they're gonna show it off more before it comes out. I really don't expect like a complete surprise drop, but I don't know. Obviously it didn't come today, so at some point in the next couple months it'll come out, but who knows when exactly. It's also possible that it'll come out like alongside the expansion pack, because usually when expansions come out, they do like a really big patch beforehand that comes with like a major build tool or like major update. So think like how Pawns came out around the same time as Cottage Living and it was like a really huge deal. I wouldn't be surprised if Infants came out around the same time as the new expansion pack. So maybe even like March or something. I don't know. Long story short, it's not today. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on all these other things because we did get some other pretty big news today. Let me know in the comments which of the two kits is standing out to you more. And obviously on Thursday, I'll make a whole video showing off all the new stuff that's in them. And I can give you like a more official review on whether or not it's worth buying once I've actually seen the kits. But with that being said, I'm gonna end this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like The Sims and Sims news, feel free to subscribe. I always make videos like this when we've got big stuff going on, but I also just like play The Sims a lot. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, check out my channel. And with that, I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. I know this sounds super silly, but the empty toothpaste tube and the light switches are the most exciting part of this whole day.